Jatuk stenuta rame sit tu kamo jata insta da. How long was I sleeping? I've never felt this hungry. Dip one? Are you here? How long have I? Adwick. Shoo. Boot. Hungry. Mirin. Yes. Read something, he said. I pray. I meditate. But I am so far from the sea. I must find food. The sounds of this water. Is hollow. Like it has no base nor soul. It is like it knows not of the deep at all. Worry not. Strange waters. You will find your way to the sea. But now I must hunt.
Also know we just need 2 guards to be stationed at the scribery now. Two new ones.
I had my headphones off, say again, last?
We need
Give them a
two
minute.
more guards stationed at the scribery, because right now it's just me and Protag, and the others were removed. So, need two new to fill the ranks and then become acquainted with Master Thessalor.
It's gigabits.
That's all.
May I get a
Let me double
DM
check
roll
it.
on
Nope.
fishing, please?
Yeah, I can get you the DM roll and fishing. Hold fast. 6.
Thanks.
Yeah.
These waters seem unfamiliar to me today. It is as if It is if they know something is wrong. They hide from Dhuros. Deep One. Did I do something wrong? I am so hungry. What did he have me read? I must find Myrin. We're gonna try for the stream camera. Just because I think it would be nice to do. That's it. We're tempting fate. Let's have a look at the stream. And... oh, I'm in completely the wrong place. Whee! It is late in the day. Erin is probably about her business. She has a house to find. After all. Adwick. I must find food. Perhaps this is it. The Deep One sends the fish away. To call Dhuros back to Adwick. What is it you wish me to find, Deep One? My mind, eyes, and ears are open. I will not fail. I will not fail. slow and familiar. Perhaps this man knows what happened. Relin. Relin. Relin.
Oh my god. I'm
It's,
so glad you're alright.
it is good to see you, but what has happened?
Are you alright? What? Did Mirren hurt you? Are you okay?
I wish to speak on this. Sorry, is this your friend?
I do not know him though.
Please, Relin, we must find somewhere. I must speak to you. If that is
Shall we go back to your place of residence?
suitable to yourself, but more time has passed than I thought. I have woken up and I am so hungry. The fish, they seem to desert the waters. I fear something is wrong.
I believe there is something wrong. But we have much to discuss. Let us go back to your abode.
Do you have
Shall we?
food at your camp? Relin,
I
listen.
will find you something.
When was the last time you saw me?
It was 2 days ago.
2 days.
The day before yesterday. Yes.
Then it is as I feared. Please, we must speak, but I know not now how much longer my stomach can wait.
Hold on. You stay here. Let me get you something.
I will wait in the water. I will.
Yes.
Yes,
Do.
please.
I will not have it.
She asked after Myrin. She has always been a stranger to me, but she comes and meets me with embrace. It is as I feared. Something is wrong. Dhuros, what have you done? Dhuros, what have you done? You came here to help. You wished the erred ones well. You thought that maybe they'd teach you of Mithrax. Is this Mithrax doing? What did the scribe have Dhuros do? It is ever like this. The long-eared ones, the elves, always. I should have feared them. Dhuros should have known. Nothing good comes of the long-eared ones. Their long lives. They learn many things. But always it goes wrong. But then, this Myrin must suffer so. The Emersath bloodline has been trained, conditioned, bred to deal with the horrors of knowledge. And should we fail in our resolve, our lives are soon over. Dhuros, If through you this elf has learned of something that he should not, you have been a very cruel Triton indeed. If what is written in the old tales is true, they live for hundreds, no, thousands of years.
I heard you're very, very hungry.
Loretta,
I brought you something.
Oh.
I'm sorry I don't have a plate or any utensils for it, but
for me?
the owner of the tavern wouldn't let me bring anything out. Other than it's a little bit slimy, so.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes.
this is for you. Yes,
Thank
not
you.
a problem.
Oh. Just small bites.
His meat, not, what fish is?
It's.
It is not
It's
fish.
pork.
It is
It's
It is an animal
it's
of the
made
land.
from- yeah.
Pork.
the humans. They do not eat fish all of the time. A lot of times they raise animals and eat them.
Oh, he's good. Loretta, thank you.
Oh, not a problem. It's my pleasure, honestly.
He's Adwick, okay? Dhuros sleep long time. Dhuros awake,
Yes. Well,
most scared, most worried.
worried
We'll speak of this,
about.
Dhuros. I will let you know. We should talk.
Oh, Loretta, thank you.
Yes.
We talk.
Please keep yourself safe and fed. It's important.
Please.
You seemed like you had such, vigor for learning and education, and I
Yes.
couldn't let you starve to death.
Dhuros, learn much. Thank you, Loretta. I learn. I must learn more.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's a noble task.
Yes, Dhuros hope so. Sorry, really, me must speak. I
Yes, of course.
must thank you somehow. Dhuros, help Loretta. If need,
Well, yes. You don't need to do it now. Just go talk. I don't want to keep you. Just make sure you finish that, okay?
yes. Thank you, Dhuros. Most grateful. Goodbye. It was nice seeing you again.
Yes, perfect. You're gonna learn common in no time.
Thank you. Really, we must speak. Yes.
I did not discuss in the open. In the case of Brown, yes. Although I suppose if we speak our language, it might be all right. Which would we prefer?
If I was one of them, and I saw two people speaking their own language in daylight, it would make me most suspicious.
Yes, you're right.
I fear you. You mentioned Myrin? He,
Mirin, yes.
has something happened that I should know of?
Yes, that is what we will need to speak about. I do not want to say his name in public, though, or out in the open.
Dhuros has done a bad thing indeed. Where is Kaidas? Is he safe?
I have seen him around. He is fine, to my knowledge.
That is good to know. I awoke in the dark. It was most quiet.
You were walking in the dark?
There is something you must know. But we must
Look forward to
speak.
hearing it.
Yes,
We need to.
it is. It is good that you know. This meat is unlike anything I have ever tried. It is
They have different animals up here, yes.
difficult to chew. Perhaps it would be better beneath the water.
Perhaps.
We shall retreat to the cave.
Yes.
I spoke to Kidas. He sold Mirin a map.
Huh?
Kidas, he sold Mirin a map.
He sold me the map?
A map of
Map.
he sold a map of the water or the areas down here. It is okay. I asked him to remove this cave. This is the one place I know that he cannot hear. Really,
Where is me?
my mind is racing most terribly. I awake with... I do not normally awake when... But first, do tell me, what has happened? What has Mirin done?
I wanted to know what he did to you. I fear he is not someone we should, especially you, should involve yourself with. I have learned over these past couple of days that he is a dangerous individual who will do it nothing to use people and throw them away. Throw them away, sometimes meaning kill if necessary. I feared that you were thrown away.
Relin, please. Please tell me no one has died because of Dhuros this past day.
Not that I know of, no. What happened? What did he want to speak to you about? What did you
Dhuros spoke to Mirin. These books, I thought that perhaps they might teach us something of ourselves. That somewhere within these books there might be something that could help. Some reference of the Tritons of our history. Something we do not know. I wish to learn of Mithrax. I do not know of his name. I wish to know if he was maybe the same as the Deep One, or another name, or if perhaps there is something within their writings which mentions our god.
Did you learn anything?
I did not get the chance.
What happened then? What do you want with you?
Relin, how much do you know of my family?
I do not know much, to be honest.
The Umursath bloodline has always been from the deeper parts of the sea. We grow. We thrive in the darker places, down where you can feel the weight of his embrace. It is with us always. The pool, to he who lies at the depths of all things. The deep one beneath the waves. But the deeper we go, you learn many things. I speak to these people, the way they live, the way they are upon the land, and I see suffering. Their ways are so unlike our own. Their medicine, the food that they eat, the houses that they build, and the wars that they wage. It is something that all Umursaths know well. That the knowledge and suffering are the same. You cannot learn without pain. And sometimes you learn something. Something which is hard to forget. Something which you can't stop thinking about. Something which changes you. Who you are. How you think. Your friends can become strange. Your very people can be as foreign to you as we are upon the land. I seek to help these people. You ask me why I talk to you about. You say you cannot go back. You cannot go back to the deep. You cannot resume the life you once had. We Tritons have suffered. We have learned. We have had that knowledge. And if we get a fraction of what we had back, think of all the suffering that we could save upon the land. Of what we could teach them. Of what we could trade. Think of all the pain that our people have been through. Our ancestors. And think of what difference their wisdom and knowledge could have upon the land. I went to Meirin because he was a learned man. These books, an archive, a great wealth of knowledge. I thought that maybe he could understand. I told him this as well as I could. That I wanted to help. That I was willing to help him if he could help me, and maybe we could make things better. Maybe we could make a I don't. It is our duty. So, the Umursath bloodline has always had a deep connection to the deep ones, to the deep one, to the dark. We have always very keenly. Ever since I was but a small child not yet fit to move away from the shoal, I was taunted by nightmares, visions. I would see things in my sleep. Things that I could not know. I would wake each day and try and remember something. But each time it would drift away from me. Like grit in the great sea, it was gone. Yet I could remember the feeling, the knowledge, the power, the knowledge, I would make this, I would be in a great temple beneath the sea, enormous, unlike anything in the shallows, and I would read things, and I would remember feeling that if I could take this with me, if I could carry back this knowledge, that I would be able to save people, to save us, to help. I would remember that. Understanding. Fear.
You cannot remember the knowledge of your dreams?
No.
That you...
So, my grandfather, he came to me. He said that he was the same. He teach Dhuros meditation. I focus hard and sleep without sleeping. If I am reduce myself to this state of low consciousness, like a waking dream, I can glimpse things. I can remember. Only for a time. I can make things, read things, speak languages the likes of which I have never heard or tongued before. Or so I am told. When I awake, I am tired. I cannot last for long. I awake feeling dry, hungry, and like before, the memories just slip away. I am no fool, really. I know that I have my work cut out for me upon the land. I am a priest. I am a priest to a city which does not know my church. It does not know the deep one of my faith. I cannot speak, and what I do speak gets smiled upon by kind souls like Loretta, or mocked by the guards. I needed to prove to Mirin, this learned man, that I could help him. He asked me to read something. A single rune. A stone. So I thought, what choice do I have? I either prove the might and the legacy of the Tritons now. He had spoken to Kaidas. He told me himself he thought that Kaidas was spinning tall tales. So I thought, what would be the harm of just reading one rune? I will not lie to you. Since I have moved from the sea, this has become harder. I cannot focus. Being so far from the Deep One's embrace, it makes it difficult. Yet, I have been out for days. I do not think that Mirin showed me just one rune. When I meditate, it is like I am not in the room. I am not there. I am asleep, but still moving and speaking. I cannot control what is put in front of me, and to hear these things from you now, to hear you so, a woman so strange, come embrace me and ask after Myrin, I feel now that I have done something most terrible. The long-eared ones, they suffer so. It is written in the walls. It is spoken of in the stories. Knowledge is suffering, Lilin. If Dhuros learns something, he is used to that. I know what this knowledge is like. My family has bred to deal with this for generations. The long-eared elves, they live long lives. They think they know better. They think they are wiser, that they are stronger. But that makes them all the worse. If you learn something, Raylin, and it plays on your brain for a week, this is a bad time. To an elf, a week is years. Mirin, I fear he is suffering most dearly.
You have sympathy for this elf?
Just because I wish to share our knowledge does not mean I am ignorant to the harm it would cause. He could have gone his whole life without knowing whatever it is I have told him. And now, Dhuros fears for what he has done. I fear for Adwick. And yes, I fear for Mirin.
I know not of what you told him, but perhaps I can speak to him and see what you said.
I cannot
Perhaps
remember,
he share it with me.
but I have not.
But try not to work with him again, please. He is a dangerous man, and he has hurt many.
What choice do I have? This man, he...
Did he give you any information in return at all? Because I can tell you right now, Dhuros, I have more information than...
I remember fear. I remember coming to. I remember already being halfway down the stairs. I remember being panicked, being drier than my skin has ever felt in its life. I remember needing water, more water. I looked at him, I think. And I think it did something. And then I ran.
Do not speak to him again. He is looking for you. He wants to speak with you. He is dangerous. Many people have told me, people who are not involved with each other, and people in high places are not fond of him.
Did he?
Dhuros, you might not need this Mirandal man to find what you are looking for. I have spoken with someone who has delved into the underground of this land. Not underwater, but under the dirt. And they have found the cities, similar to the lost cities, but under the ground. Yes. They have cities that were older than any elf or dwarf could recognize.
Beneath the
And
ground.
these cities are, yes, beneath the ground, and they have these portals, these some kind of, it sounds crazy, I know, but they have
No.
these rune type things,
Is nothing.
and these portals that can take you from one place to another, far away, instantly.
One place to another.
That is how the survivors of Ledford got out. There was a portal underneath the ground.
In all the network.
We're able,
Another lost city. This is...
but on the land. It sounds exactly the same as the lost cities that we know of. And I have seen these runes that he speaks of in the lost cities as well.
the same runes?
Yes, they glow blue.
Then it is true. We all return to the Deep One's embrace. He calls to all Deep Ones in the earth. He pulls us all to his embrace.
All I know is that you can find information without having to be another one of this Mirandal's puppets.
Who is this man? I must
That's
speak
for
to
him.
him. It is not...
His name is Arn. I can get you talking with him, but this information it needs to be quiet. He entrusted me with this information since it is dangerous.
And who is this Arn? Who knows of these
He is a
cities beneath
He's a
the earth?
blacksmith.
A blacksmith with knowledge of portals
Yes.
and of...
Apparently the survivors of Ledford all went through one of these portals.
This is...
Dhuros, I need you to keep this a secret.
Lilin, I will. But I need you to understand something. I am a priest. It is not in our nature to turn down those who are lost. I must go to Myrin. I must take responsibility for my actions and folly. And I must see if there is something in there that I may yet save. That is who we are. If there is any chance I can help ease his suffering, if there is any chance that I might make him realize that this route leads only to pain for him only to pain for others.
Authority has led him to pain. There are people who want him dead. And he has killed others. He's not the man you want to trifle with.
I am not trifling. I must at least speak to him. For how else will I move throughout the
I
town?
cannot stop you.
He has the guards at his beck and call.
Yes. I cannot persuade you, I see that.
No, it is not a matter of persuasion. I have two choices. I either leave Adwick now, and leave knowledge of these new deep places, and leave this elf to suffer upon the soil, and bring countless suffering with it. Or I can do as my people are meant to do. We will talk to them. We will show why we are the deep ones chosen.
Just promise me you will come to me if there is anything happens. That if you are in trouble,
Really,
find me.
I thought you were done with guarding the people of the deep.
Perhaps I still hope to do a fraction of what I used to. My titles may have been stripped of me, but I still long to be a guardian.
If there is hope yet for you, is it so strange that there is hope yet for Mirin?
Alright. Just be careful.
Relin,
That is all I ask.
you tread upon the earth. I have seen the faces that other people make to you. I do not wish to put a doubt on yourself, but you will know that no matter you make friends, wherever you make allies, they will always look at you strange. There will always be something. It is not on you to be like them. You are a Triton. You will always be. No matter what has happened, though I know not the details, I know that much is true. If you can remember who you are, as I remember who I am, we can help these people. I believe it.
Let us do just that.
Thank you for the
We
food.
shall help the landers. Of course.
It is.
Be safe.
Go with the Deep One's blessing, whether you like it or not.
Yes.
I have sheep.
Pork.
Pork. I don't know that one. I will have to see if I can find it. Thank you.
Yes.
Go with the tides. More mysteries yet, Deep One. Lost cities. It is a far stretch, I know, to call together two things because the runes are blue. Because it is an old city beneath the earth. Well, you would have to be a madman to think they are the same. Or a priest. Mielin. I will find you. We're not fucking crashing! This is the time where I crash. Is the music volume alright? Cool. Because I'm just about to change it. Actually, I think this is kind of a religious thing we're doing. If you know any other soundtracks or anything from games, obviously royalty free, that I can use in this, that might be cool for a particular mood or style, let me know. I have a channel for it in the Discord. It's always good to keep things diverse. Focus. I swear this was deeper before. I'll be honest with you, chat. When I said I was going to be playing a Triton, many things came to my mind, but I didn't think there would be this much flapping. Oh, the guards, the guards, the guards. You can do this, Dhuros. I can use menus.
Yeah. Is that what a story is? That is something you make up.
Hello.
I mean, some of them are true.
Hello.
Nice to see you again.
Is it another small person?
I come in?
Is it another small
I've never seen you in my life.
No,
Oh.
I have. They're interested. Yeah, no, you can come in. But you know, where have you been? If you don't mind me asking.
Forest,
And have you seen the
sleep.
blacksmith? We're missing him.
Black, I not know this word. Blacksmith,
Hey, man.
sorry.
You know, a man who makes like weaponry and forges stuff with materials such as iron and copper and
He makes
whatnot.
stuff
Copper.
like this.
Oh, I Dhuros do something wrong?
No,
Ah.
I was
Not
showing
yet.
you an example of what a blacksmith makes.
Oh, sorry,
They make this sort of shit.
no.
The things we wear.
Ah, shoe! Hello!
Shoot. Why?
Hi.
Still no shoes?
No, blacksmith? You know? No, not.
If you want shoes, mate, there's a cobbler. He's the guy who makes
Cobbler?
literally just shoes.
I look for.
Good for your feet. I hear the sun's getting quite squelching out there. Must be painful to walk.
Not
You know what
good
you
for Dhuros.
You lads need. You should go
Well,
talk
we
to
didn't take
Mr.
you to.
Aldo to get a pension stalled here.
That'd be so nice because I hate either popping squats or sitting on crates.
Oh,
I just thought
Hey.
they had really great glutes.
sorry.
Yes.
You know how
Thank you.
difficult it
Mr.
is to, like,
Dhuros,
roll
I
shit and
hope you're
Loretta.
feeling well.
Yes, thank you. Dhuros, help?
Probably damn near
I,
impossible.
just over there, by the way.
I don't need any help right now, but I really appreciate your enthusiasm.
Thank you.
Of some
I
place that they might
not
be
know.
places to stay.
Appreciate. Oh.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, maybe we stand over
Oh,
here.
yes.
Where the inn was. 'Cause they apparently don't know.
I look for Mirin.
Mirin, yes, I did see him earlier. He might be at the scribery now, I'm not sure.
Scribe. Over.
It's
This
just
way?
down there, and yes, over there.
Yes.
You see the fountain?
Yes. Water.
If you see the guard, Reginald, you've gone too far.
Thank
Yes,
you.
water.
Thank you, Loretta. Very kind.
No, I just
Thank you.
want you to be, I just want you to learn. You're very eager at it.
Yes.
It just fills my heart with warmth.
Mirin, teach me Mithrax. I go to learn
Yes.
now.
Yes, go learn.
Yes.
Go learn.
Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you. Oh, sorry. That scared the shit out of me.
Just had a bit of a headache.
Oh. Hello.
Oh.
Nice to meet you.
Someone like you before.
I look.
Clone and such.
I look for Mirin. You know?
Mirin. I don't really know who he is, but all I know is he's a scholar here.
Oh.
If you want to go in and check, maybe you.
Thank you. Mirin.
By chance.
Nice to see you again. I
Very nice to see you.
sleep a long time. Good to see you. Mirin.
Indeed.
Well?
No, actually,
Nice to meet you.
we have much to speak about.
Well, hello there again.
Dhuros, do you have a moment?
Should be off for a-
Yes, I look for Mirin.
Very good.
Yes.
Having a bit of a hard time, maybe.
Oh, thank you.
Guardsman, do let the other Triton know if she wishes to speak to me. She may, but do it quietly.
Yes. I follow is warm.
Yes.
I
Yes, please do.
thank you. Oh,
Oh, Dhuros, it is good to see you. I was afraid that something had happened to you. I did not see you yesterday.
yes, I ask, rune, I read,
Yes, you read them. Much to my surprise, you helped me decode a greater portion of some lost knowledge. I must say, above all else, I am sorry. I did not realize that reading it would put you in such a state.
I did not. I read more than rune. More rune.
You want to read more runes?
No. Before I read many rune.
You did. You read quite a few. Though a lot of it was in a language I did not recognize. But you did manage to speak out in those that I did. Using that information, I was able to decode most of a page of, well, something that... Let's just say it is a crown secret.
Crown. What the crown? What is?
The king.
King.
The crown is another word for the king and all of the king's agents.
Oh, king. Ruler.
Yes.
Oh, you work for king.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh,
Dhuros, I must, before we continue to speak, I must ask, have you told anyone of what happened, what transpired the other day when you read those runes?
Slower.
Did you tell anyone? Transpire, it means to, for something to happen. If something has transpired, then it has happened.
I live. I sleep long time. I wake hungry. I find Mirin. Loretta buy pork. Strange. Not fish. No. That all.
Good. Very good. Tell no one.
Knock, knock.
Understand?
No.
Not everyone will understand your gift. They will not understand. They will think it a heresy. It could put you in danger if it falls into the wrong hands.
Danger.
Do you
Dhuros?
understand?
Yes.
Tell danger, Dhuros. Tell no one. Okay.
Tell no one.
Yes. Understand.
I'll keep you safe.
You?
Yes. Your secret is safe with me.
Secret. Okay. Thank you. Mirin.
Yes.
What
Of course.
was...
I was told I was allowed in.
Yes. Oh, welcome. Yes. As I was just telling Dhuros here, I was regaling him with some interesting news. Cannot find your other compatriot, though I'm sure you all speak, or on speaking terms at least?
Just because we are of the same race does not mean we all speak.
Of course not, but
Why are you
in a
all three of
city
us?
of Outlander.
Really,
Well, I have something that might interest you, and it would...
I think he asked me something to the extent of, do not tell anyone, so I told him I not tell you. I say in Aquilan and Clay, unless that's clear. Cool. Sorry, common, yes.
That was an interesting language. Is that your native tongue?
Yes, Aquilan, all Triton speak. Beautiful.
I see. It is quite beautiful. Would you be willing to teach me?
Comparison to underwater, however.
Hmm.
Underwater it sounds like singing.
Hey.
Speak up hard on land is difficult. I teach you?
Yes, you teach me.
To be able to make those noises if you are not a Triton, however.
In either case, it would help me to understand how to converse with a Triton if I ever need to in their native tongue. And in turn, I can teach you common.
Yes, I wish to learn Mithrax.
Yes.
Yes.
I have something for you, actually. I have transcribed some pages regarding the Order of the Blue Flame. I bet you will find it quite interesting.
Oh, for...
They are some of Mithrax's finest servants.
Mithrax servant,
warrior servants.
For me?
The pages are for you, yes.
Oh, thank you. Most good gift. Thank you.
I'm always more than happy to help a fellow scholar, as it were.
Dhuros no read common, though is...
I see.
Not...
Could read it out to you, but it would be quite lengthy. Perhaps come back this evening and I could read it to you.
Yes. Thank you. You busy? I go?
No, it is fine.
Dhuros, if I may.
Oh.
I am interested in the things that you and Dhuros spoke about when he was here.
Yes, well...
It appears he spoke of things, and he could not remember what they were. I was
Indeed.
wondering, since you were there, you could enlighten him. Us.
Dhuros?
Oh?
I leave that to be your decision. Do you...
Sorry, I was look at...
Dhuros. I'm asking him what you told him. The thing that you did not remember.
Oh.
This is Nicolene. The thing that you did not remember. I'm asking what.
I understand.
What you told him, and if he would be able to share, since you have no memory of it.
I told
Are you
you
okay with this?
that I was keeping
He's
that a
asking for your
secret that I
permission.
told you.
Apologies, I did not understand.
Okay. Yes. I would like to know, what runes I not remember.
Yes, well, the runes themselves... Due to certain circumstances and with my... Well, the castle has tightened security ever since a certain scuffle. So I'm afraid that I'm not sure if I am at the liberty to tell you. However, I will tell you something else quite interesting. The
You're
runes
not
that you
at
helped
liberty,
me
even though it
decrypt.
was what he told you.
Well, yes, if he
Explain,
had already known.
Relin, speak to Dhuros. You speak, Relin, Relin, speak to me.
I see. Very well.
It's hard. Not, yes.
Certain agents of the Crown see it fit to keep this knowledge under lock and key, lest it get into the wrong hands. I would not want to put either of you at danger, as I am not sure what I can and cannot disclose at this time. But there is something interesting that I can disclose, and that I would like your help on. And I believe it pertains...
Telling you.
Yeah, translating.
Yeah, okay. I'd be translating mid-conversation, yeah.
Understood.
It also concerns a friend of yours.
A friend?
I have trouble
friend of
pronouncing his
ours?
name. Yes, the other
Kidas.
Triton that...
Kidas.
Dhuros.
Vedorsat.
I believe he's on a quest to find something lost in a deep body of water. That is his aim, at least.
Yes.
It turns out there may actually be something in Fair Hollow after all. The place that I told him to look. Of course, it would be... It is something Crown needs recovered. It would be a dangerous task. Likely. After all, it is involving the... well... lost and forgotten knowledges of the past, after all.
It is something that Crown wants recovered, but it is Triton.
Ask him who else works for the Crown.
Be.
Who else works for the Crown?
Many people. That's a very broad question. Can you be more specific?
Who else here, in case we need help?
Who else here in case we need help?
Do you mean help retrieving this thing, or if you are in danger?
Both is good.
Both.
If you are in danger, seek out a guard. I will have them informed that you are to be brought safely to me. Or to safety, regardless of whatever it is.
Did Kidas tell you, I'm assuming we're just going via translation now. Did Kidas tell you where, what it was he was looking to recover?
He said he did not know himself.
I see.
Do you know more?
I can only assume based on what I know of his bloodline. His family are great
Some
cartographers.
lost knowledge.
If there is something out there, it is true that a Vedorsat would have the best records. That being said,
I see.
there is little knowledge of Tritons working upon the land. It is a strange task, and I suspect he is not being entirely truthful.
I do not blame him. He is in a land of strangers. Though if your task is what you say it is, and it is to help the starving, the poor, the hungry, then of course you will have my aid.
You seem like a troubled man,
That
Mirin.
said, I am.
They say unkind things about you in the streets.
I know. They don't understand what I'm
There's a
doing
knocking
here.
on the door.
Come in.
Master Thessalor, you're going to want to see this.
Very well.
Ah.
Come, can't leave you in here unattended. We can continue our meeting after this. Ah. Serveth.
It is good that you are here.
I'm glad I was able
Good to
to
see you.
sense it.
Ah. We stay
Give
or...
me a moment, won't you two?
Oh, we...
Feel free to stay. I will be back with you shortly.
Oh, okay.
Shall we speak?
Ego?
I believe he is going.
Oh. Ah. Fucking Mirren getting up in my grill.
Okay, what the fuck is with Mirandil and hooded women coming into his chambers every fucking minute of the
I don't
hour?
fucking know.
This
I'm right here, you know.
one down here, he covers his head with a hood. Is he like ourselves?
No, he is a dwarf.
You know, I kind of have to want to half believe that.
I have never seen him without the hood, but I have not known him long.
There's
I
so
have
many
not either.
big fucking abominations in this town.
He
I mean,
is not a very good liar.
Possibly.
No.
I do not think you can inherit a corpse here.
I fear Mirren might be in quite
Then again, every elf I've seen in
quite
this
a
town
lot of danger.
has some kind of mental ear. So I don't know what the fuck is with that.
That is true, yeah.
It is strange that a king would call a bad liar to his side.
You speak of this, you say Mirren is a bad liar?
Whatever
Yes.
business they do it soon, I've got to
That he
fucking
is most assuredly.
switch out all the candles and still
Yes.
reveal the
He does not strike me
believe,
as a man that I would take
Apparently
or
we have
task
ghosts
with
over there,
something
we have
so
these
important.
two. Next thing you know, the rest of the town, the city is going to be coming in and be like,
Well, here
Dhuros,
they're being
Master
learned
Thessalor.
and being able to read is something that
I'll see what these two.
not everyone is taught, and so he was a scribe at
Can we
he was a scribe at another place apparently, and
I,
I
Was I
guess
correct?
apparently
The-
used by some royalty.
there are many
In all
people.
honesty, it might be the fact that
Ah.
he is not as good at this. Maybe it is to the royalty's advantage. I have no idea what's going on.
It is strange that something this important would be treated to such a man, but it is stranger still that Kidas would be so open with him about what it is he wishes to recover.
everyone in this fucking town?
That worries me the most, yes.
To tell the man that there is something valuable at this lake within his own lands.
Yes,
What?
it is.
What does Kidas have to gather from misdirecting him so? Why would he want the king's men to go to a lake? He surely must have known what he did.
I don't know if he realized that by telling him, the crown would want it as well. I'm sure he was. He's dense. Stupid classes.
I will
We
need
have
to
figure
speak to
out
him
who's
on
in that
this.
lake, and we cannot let the crown get it.
Well, then we need Kidas to tell
That is
us.
not-
The man
Tell us
must.
what.
I will speak to him.
We know it isn't Ferhara.
We are both of noble blood. I do not believe that a son of a Dorseth came out this far on land, risked life and limb for something he does not know.
Sure.
Next thing I know, fucking,
I fear he may be as much a
All I
bad
know
liar
it is
as
connected to
Mirin.
the lost cities.
I've already spoken
It's
with
entirely
him.
possible.
If it is connected to the lost cities, then
Get to the archive so it probably won't be.
Could it be that in another bottle? You speak to me earlier, you speak to me of... But no, it is too strange. These portals you speak of beneath the earth.
These portals.
Maybe.
Perhaps maybe another one of those portals are in Fair Hollow?
Then no.
Ah.
No, no, no,
The
no,
man I
no,
spoke
no,
to.
no, 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 no. This is bad. We need to find Kidas now. We need to go. We cannot go. This is bad. I know it is too great a stretch, but I have faith that the Deep One has not revealed this to me by accident. What if there is a portal there?
No, apparently.
What if it is connected to the lost cities? They would be destroyed. There is no way they would know what they were doing. If the King's men took control, they could...
Yes, if they open the portal, then the creatures of the deep could come forward. They would go to the portal if there is a portal in the lost cities, and if it is open.
Why else would there be a
We
Triton
do not know.
artifact this far upon the land? We are miles from the deep. We are... the sea is
I do not know.
far to the south. What else can it be?
But remember what I said. There is some kind of similar ruins underneath the dirt here.
Underneath the ground.
Exactly the same, apparently, as...
And do people live in these spaces beneath the ground?
No,
What?
it's the same as the lost cities.
Then, wherever there is deep, there is something wrong. If they have suffered the same fate as our people, then that is why we did not know of this sooner. It may be it struck them first. But whatever it is, if there is something in so shallow a body of water as a lake,
Crossbows or something.
be looking through books and maybe rip a page out of information that I need. I'm not going to.
we cannot let them see this. But I do not know what we can do.
We need to get to it first.
This is... nip upon nip. For those of you within earshot, we're speaking a different language. There we go. Just making that obvious. Yeah, didn't think you did. Cool, there we go. If you ever hear me speaking fluently, I'm not speaking common. Okay, cool. Yeah. Sure.
No, we're just talking about this shit in the middle of the fucking...
Yeah, no.
I was like,
That would be
continue.
fucking stupid.
I can never be too sure, you guys. She's right there. You have to remember.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right, bring it back.
There we go. I had a feeling that people were watching us. We must leave soon.
I don't think it's a conversation.
Oh, that sounds very intent.
They've been in there for quite a
Even
while.
a certain tone, but yeah, don't know what the fuck they say.
We cannot let
Between
me...
you and me,
Sounds intent.
Disgusting, but anyways.
never mind.
Depending.
Just...
If there is...
We have to
We cannot
figure
let
out.
Mirin know that something is wrong. I will...
No, we cannot. No. Thank you for not trusting him. Not fully, at least.
I am here to help him.
Yes.
But I am afraid that helping him may not be something that he is open to. Not when he believes he is close.
Remember,
Hmm?
well, you may be able to help him.
Alright.
Put the Tritons first.
I always will. This is why we must speak to Kidas as soon as we can.
I suppose. I mean,
Have you managed to patch things over with him? You seem more friendly with me this day. I know that you two had...
We had an argument. He figures out who I was. So I have no reason to hide who I am anymore, because he knows who I am, and...
And what...
He wants to pursue this thing in the lake, and I told him I wanted nothing to do with it, but I'm afraid now I might have to be involved.
I do not understand why he would say such things. He is... surely he knows. He seemed distant and like a man full of purpose, but surely he does not... It is... Does he plan to venture alone? Sure, I do not doubt that a man of his bloodline would be capable of doing such a feat, but to introduce so many others into this fold... Surely he would at least understand the risks of such a thing.
I have no idea what he is thinking. I never know what he is thinking. He's rash and only thinks about himself. This is the exact reason why I ran away from the ocean, and now it is following me.
Well, that makes you the most equipped for this job. The Deep One has placed you...
I did not want to be involved with any of the information with the Deep. I did not want to be.
None of us know when we will be called. We can but answer. It is good. Use that fear. Use it. Do you think that I do not wake up afraid? Do you think that I do not know fear? Why do you think it is that I come to people with open hands? I try to make friends with people. Why do you think it is that I will come across and greet even my strangest kinsman with open arms? It is because I know how bad things can become. And because I value that life we can have uninterrupted by such fears. You may know more than anyone else why it is that we cannot let these king's men go about this job. It is providence that you are here. You say that you wish to have something much like what you once had. The Deep One has provided.
It has been Triton heritage for centuries that something we are also proud of is that we protect the people of the land from the creatures of the deep, but I never thought I would be doing it so
unless you go for the jugular.
So straightforwardly.
What use is a man who knows no fear?
A fool.
After all the shit that I've had to go through.
Well, if there is this tension between you and Kiedis, it may seem that this fear is the edge that perhaps you need. I understand. You have come face to face with horrors, the likes of which no one should ever see.
Cutting would be more beneficial than poking. Just imagine me poking its stem like 30 times trying to get it to snap.
It is our duty.
Alternatively, you just stab an apple, see the apple right off it already, mate.
Yeah,
It is our duty.
How lazy do you have to be to use tools to eat an apple? It has a skin.
We'll stick to kids.
This is
Find out what it is in that lake.
quite the conversation that they are having. I do not suppose it is long enough for us to... It is quite warm in this room.
We should probably...
You want to check?
We should probably go find
See
something.
how long it will be.
Maybe we go outside by the strange water that shoots from the stone.
Yes.
Indeed, but there would be nothing going on unless the fucking tavern or something comes running and screaming.
I do not know how
Yes,
to
what
speak
kind
to
of
the
thing
guard.
happening in there?
One more time, I
Why? The king's men would have many strange visitors, I am sure.
That hooded woman. She She was almost executed by Mirandal yesterday. He tried to kill her.
Then the Deep
I
One
do
may
not
be
know
doing
why she
our
walked
work
right
for
into
us.
his trap. Perhaps you're right.
I do not know what to do. Should we? I do not know enough. I must go on
Not
faith
something we should trifle with.
that the Deep One will see us right. If he means for Mirin to be recovered, I am sure that he will exit that room. We shall take it as a sign.
Indeed. Let us go. God, we are getting a bit dry. Is it okay if we step out for a while? I believe our conversation with Miranda might be over.
Skin, flame, not good, very hot,
Well, then go.
I go, oh, thank you.
Go.
Here. You wouldn't see to the green one.
Thank you.
The darkness of the deep mercies us once again. I will never understand those who live within the day. What manner of strange thing is this? There is some tube or spout, like a whale. What? This man is shouting.
My gods, have you lined up everyone here to say hello before he gets to the building? You have! What is this? Everyone that has asked where Aaron
Is okay?
to the damn iron post. Every single one.
Well, I was here conducting business with him. I'm one of them.
Ah.
I never asked where he was. I never
What
asked
is-
where he was.
Ah.
Good to see you. We'll talk later.
I'll see you in a moment.
I
We're gonna see if we can get that word.
Not many voices. No.
Yes.
Well, in that case,
Wait a minute,
I am
just give
going
us
to
a
be,
short moment, would you? We're just gonna look into the thing. We'll be quick.
right then, actually.
This
Of course.
no look good.
I'm going to follow them
Ah.
in interest of Iron and Wolves. But
But Mirin and guard, what if?
try not to get too involved. Like you said, let the Deep One decide. It is not something we should get involved at all. It is very dangerous with these two individuals.
Understood.
They are both very dangerous individuals.
I do hope that whatever
they
you
are
have
going
to
into
do
the Iron
with
Wolf
these men is important. Iron Wolves, you say they are guardians as well. We may yet need them. This could be Providence as well. Perhaps they could help.
Perhaps.
You sound...
They only help for coin. It is unlike the Guardians. I'm going to check.
Okay.
I want to join
I will...
the
I will...
Iron Wolves.
I will stay here.
First of all,
Oh dear.
Dhuros.
Noreta,
Hello.
it is good. Do you know Mirin work for king?
Yes,
Oh,
he's one of the scholars for the crown.
oh. What people say bad man is true?
Mirin? I'm not quite sure myself. I don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
This isn't a conversation for the streets, Dhuros.
Oh, not here?
Not here.
Sorry. I told wait here. They
Yes, I'm waiting
busy.
for somebody that's inside there as well.
Aye.
They have some. I think I have some information they might want to know.
Many people, a small building, strange. Dhuros see many.
Many people.
Many.
In there?
Yes.
Yes. It's the Iron Wolves. They're a mercenary company. They also handle contracts and things like that for, protecting things and going places.
No, not this word.
Mercenary.
Is warrior?
They are. Yes. People pay them to fight for them.
Pay. Oh, copper to fight.
Yes.
You not pay your warrior?
Well, no. These, like, the soldiers and such are owned by the crown. These men will. Well, they fight exclusively for copper. Sorry. It doesn't really matter who pays them.
Not matter who. Copper.
Yes.
Dhuros not understand. Is no matter.
It's
thank you.
not the best practice. Yes.
Is nice, dark, good for Dhuros. No so warm. Inside many heat, light. The is like on wall and
like the torches and such.
Torches is really what is word for strange wavy things on the wall which with the heat?
Like that? The torch?
Heat waves?
Candle?
Heat waves?
Speak of what?
The
Heat waves?
Heat wave, I do not understand. Sorry. Lorette, long, very...
Speaking of...
Fire is wavy, hot?
What are you speaking of, Dhuros? What are you talking about? What's on the wall?
Light, wavy,
The torches?
Torches, is this his word? Okay, yeah, torches, sorry.
Is that the word? Okay, torch.
Torch,
Are you going to be going with everyone on that mission to Bali Roll? I do have information. Yeah, I do have information if you're going.
I am curious.
What mission the barley roll? This is the first I'm hearing about it.
It is
for the
Iron Wolf.
The mercenaries, Iron Wolves.
Yes, you are registered as a freelancer for the Iron Wolves, you could go on the.
Yes, so just so you know, there was some attacks
Mission
yesterday on
is
the
difficult.
road from a couple of men from Barley Roll said that
They're getting
their
somewhere.
convoy was attacked and there was men in robes. So yeah, make sure you're.
Mr. Williams, you seem a curious sort. Someone who's
Oh,
mind for business.
hello.
For trying to make a buck.
We come back inside?
Yes, you can continue your talk.
I'm gonna keep
Oh,
that in mind.
thank you.
I deliver.
Goodbye. And nice to see you again. I go in? Oh. Oh. So warm.
Yes.
Torches.
Go inside.
I apologize for keeping you waiting.
It's so funny. If you guys want
That
to go
certainly
back out,
would
I'll
have
lay
been
on the ground and we
something.
can redo it.
We go?
No. Stay.
I'll
I-
catch up. Take the go back.
It scared me. Fuck.
I thought you were dead. Okay. Anyways. Oh my god. Okay. Card back up. Sorry, I freaked. Okay. All right.
Yes, so we must head to Fair Hollow. I am told that, well, you might. I'm not sure if we need to head out tomorrow or what the situation is, but. Yes, Dhuros?
No, I listening. Try to learn.
I see. Naturally, we can only bring people that we trust, or at least know are not actively working against the crown. Do you have anyone in mind?
We go to this Fair Hollow Lake.
Yes.
I'm sure I can find some people.
I do not know anyone.
I have met some people.
Give me some names of the people that you have met, that you believe trustworthy.
I will have to talk to them before I volunteer them.
Oh?
Meet Loretta. Charlie. Hello? Oh, it's nice to meet you.
It's glowing. Yeah, it's nice to meet
you. Yes, shake it good? No?
Sure, I'm wearing a glove.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
I see.
Dhuros is a very good person. He's trustworthy. Well, slimy.
We are
That's
not
rude.
slimy.
What is
Our
this?
skin is smooth.
Oh.
We do not have slime.
Please tell this one is strange too. She comes very close. I do not know the words.
Does it come off of his skin? I'm just wondering, he's glowing like a fucking...
He's not a...
They're
He's not a
both
fan
glowing.
of the... Yeah, what the fuck? Oh.
What?
Did you just notice that I am glowing?
We all covered
Just
up.
now.
Sticks around. Glowy toes.
In
Oh,
any
so you're
case,
interested in the toaster of it?
They're just there, not into toes. Thank you.
In any case,
Yes.
the names of the people. You don't need to volunteer them, but I want to know who you're going to talk to. After all, it is a matter of the crown.
Well, there is Kiras, whom I believe should be. He is the one who discovered this, no? It would be very rude of you to take his information and.
Kidas must go. Kidas must go. He will know.
Yes, we can bring him.
Wrinkle Toes says he does, then I guess he has to go.
And who else would be good? Kidas. Loretta, but I do not know how well she fights. I do not know what is down there.
Little blonde, apparently she has sword training, but she's told me she's only ever sparred.
What?
She has no idea.
It does
I
not.
don't think it would be wise
brutalities of
to
combat.
take her.
Really,
I do not think it would be wise to
I
take her
say
into a place of combat.
in the Keelan quickly, there is no point in fighting. They will. If it happens, then there is no use.
He's speaking of killing.
I understood. I know.
They must not go.
But there's.
A strange dialect.
I do not know what else we can do. Dhuros.
Then
They're going to go, and they're going to open it, and they're going to let whatever out.
I am not a fighter. I can barely speak their tongue. I cannot. I do not know how to.
We will speak of this later. Can't let
Care to let us in on the
be
conversation?
known. We're speaking of our friend Dhuros and how I have a bit of an issue with him. We used to know
You
each
have
other.
an issue with... You have an issue with Dhuros?
Not Dhuros, sorry. Kidas. Stupid fucking Kidas. Fucking God.
History.
Make him cry.
I
no.
have issues with Kidas, and he and I do not get along well, but frankly, we're going to need him. He is the one who discovered this information, and it would be unwise to leave him out of it.
Then we will include him, of course.
Yes.
You seem... You both seem quite troubled.
As do you are pacing like a...
I always pace.
That's his thing.
It's just something that comes to me when I speak of these subjects. In either case...
Mirin is danger. What you hope to... What find?
That is a very interesting question, Dhuros. From what I understand, there are great and powerful things that have been lost to time and have not surfaced in this realm since maybe even the first era.
Mirin, time lost. No of city is
the lost cities?
Bad. Must not do. No.
I understand.
No.
I understand.
No. You must not.
You do not understand.
You
have not seen the things
speak.
In the lost cities.
Suffer. Your outside people. You suffer. I know. Tritons suffer. Is done. Before.
Something happened. The lost cities, when they fell, it opened up something great and terrible.
Do not. You.
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I not understand.
He speaks of the lost cities.
You...
They fell, opening up something great and terrible. What do you know of this?
How? No. On writings?
What do you mean?
Other day. Me? Read?
I know. That's, well, part of it, yes.
Mirin.
It helped illuminate some things for me.
Elf. Old. Think no much. You...
I am no fool, Dhuros. I do not even whatever is down there. I'm not.
Mirin.
You are chasing something you know nothing of, and you should be.
Help people. You need to know is...
You have to understand, if we do not do this... This is why I've come to you. You who have knowledge of these things. You who know what not to do.
And
Who have learned
say,
lessons
do
of the
not
past.
Try to trifle in the lost cities.
We're not
The
trifling.
things that lurk there are dangerous.
In the last
But-
half year of our life, we've seen more atrocities than you could ever imagine in your lifestyle.
Oh? Have you seen creatures the size of passes? Have you seen things whose eyes are the size of dinner plates?
I have seen something
You have.
that's just like you lurking down underneath.
Actually, yes, that's a good point. That thing
I know
had a face like a squid.
Like... This...
Saying there is a creature of the deep in it.
Fucking castle. Yes.
Yes, that is a creature of the deep.
Is...
They-
What?
Thousands of them
Then
are
we have-
inside the lost cities.
I not
You were saying
understand.
you saw one on land, underground?
Underground,
What?
not on land. It
They
was
saw a
in
creature of the deep underground.
trench.
No, 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 no! Please, do not, no, no, no! Mirin, no.
Rest easy, it is not here.
It is...
It is not here.
No.
We have no business with
If
it.
you,
Is...
It's probably not even
if you trifle with something, that is, these things live for thousands of years. I don't know what you mean. If
You
you
need to understand.
trifle
I
with
did
things
not
of
trifle
old
with
tritons,
it.
you-
We came across
to
it
the Hollow
in a
Lake
very,
may
very
open-
old. Listen, you have to understand something. Of all of the people who have experienced what magic can do, the terrible, terrible things that it can do, it is I. I have seen it with my own eyes. I do not intend to bring more of that chaos and darkness. But, in my humble opinion,
Mirin,
magic is a lot like fire.
Mirin,
These creatures are not magic. They are monsters, and they are huge, and they will kill. and
Mirin.
snap.
I'm not talking of going to the lost cities. We are going to investigate
Mirin.
whatever lies beneath the lake and
Something that is from
Mirin.
the lost cities.
Please, Mirin, this... Word for... Door. You move through. Others move through.
I can translate.
And where does this door take them?
If this thing is linked to anywhere in the deep, who knows how many countless aeons, how many endless years it has waited for new prey.
You speak of archways. You know of them. So it's truly linked.
No,
I did not say archways.
not this word.
Doorways. Doorways that take people elsewhere.
We have heard whispers of them, yes.
Not me, but I hear, yes.
I'm not going to open any archways. That is not my intention. What I do intend to do is go down and understand what is there. If it is dangerous, which it most likely is. And if there is anything that we can do about it, or if there's a way to use it to stop the impending threat that poses to wipe out all of our civilizations. Do you think they will stop the Empire once the land is free of elves and dwarves? They will come for the sea.
Mirin, I understand. We all understand what it is to lose our home. We know what it is that you face, what it is that you stand to lose. We know you can feel desperate, that you can feel hopeless, that there is...
You misunderstand. It is not hopelessness, it is not desperation that drives me. For a time it was, and that led to many mistakes, many tragedies, many deaths. I know better now.
Do you? Because you are trying to protect Tritons from the humans, but we are trying to protect you from the creatures of the deep.
Then please do it. Make sure that I do not...
Make sure you do not.
You are telling me I will never open it. I would not open it.
We can't open it.
Can't.
And can you ensure this crown that work for will not either?
Those that I work for are far more skilled and knowledgeable on how to use such things if they deem fit, and they are very, very aware of the threat.
How to kill creatures of the deep.
They are knowledgeable on how not to delve too deep.
I'm sure they could find their way around it.
Mirin,
They always seem to have a plan.
always less pain. Always less pain.
Yes. That is the goal.
If this is what you plan on doing, then we will go with you to ensure
Really,
that nothing is wronged.
I do not think you should go.
I do.
You do not have to.
Knowledge is suffering.
But this thing has been following me.
It is perhaps time they learned.
I have been running from it. I swim faster than them. And I have encountered them before. I have fought them and I have escaped them. If they learn, then so be it. But I want to ensure that they do not cause any more havoc. I will be safe, Dhuros. I promise you.
Mirin, tell what find. Please.
I understand. Come. Give me a moment to pull up my notes.
Don't do that, that shit's infectious.
It's in here somewhere.
God damn it, Falcona. Oh man.
Shut your dumbass.
Here it is.
Okay.
Right, so these runes are the ones that you decoded when you looked at that etching that I gave you. Battery, archway, lost sea, forgotten life, horrors of the deep, grand mistakes, legacy.
You've got to be kidding me. Under the ocean, too.
Yes. Under the ocean as well.
I linked those words. We have decrypted them. I have attached them into these runes. Bit by bit, we gain an understanding of what was lost.
I see. You wish to.
It's alright, we'll be fine.
I
Right?
have done it. Really, I have done a terrible thing. I must retreat to and repent. And seek guidance this day.
What did I say?
I pray that you find your courage. I really do. I must go. It's always
Dhuros.
less pain, Mirin.
Of course.
I must. Goodbye. I must go.
Oh, that's finally done.
Nice. Okay.
Be careful though.
Have a nice night.
There are creatures by the lake apparently that are dangerous at night. Goblins, I don't know.
What is
They said that they are
goblin?
some kind of small creatures with weapons.
I see.
Just be careful when you go back to your place. I'm sure it will.
What is Kaida's thinking?
I do not know.
I woke up this day thinking that I had made a grand mistake.
Humans and crown involved in.
I come here, I think I have made a grand mistake. I gave him a warning. I warned them. The Deep One spoke through me, transcribed the runes. It speaks of warning, and yet still they go.
They don't understand. They say they do, but they have no idea. They do not know the creatures. And if they have seen one underground already...
They have seen something. We do not know what. If they have seen one, they would surely understand. They would not go willingly back. They would know that you would not bring a small team of whoever you find in a city. You would find fighters. You would take an army. He is working for the king. Why send such a small team?
Now you understand why this Mirandal person is dangerous.
This
He
man...
will use whatever he can. He will kill whoever he can to get what he wants.
This man tells me he causes less pain. Yet he makes a judgment that he cannot. He has no knowledge of these things. He has...
He should not. And the people who do, he ignores.
This man is driven by something other than the aid, the will to help. There is a demon in this man. A beast of the land. I do not know how such a beast can be sated. I can only hope that my brother Vedorsath knows better what he is doing than I.
I doubt that highly. He never knows what he's doing. Sleep well, Dhuros.
There is... would you mind if you took me?
I can escort you, yes.
I
That is fine.
am not familiar with the line. It.
Yes.
I do not know how to help this man.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Fish lady, come here.
What do you want?
You haven't paid your taxes today, have you? I've seen you go in and out.
I have already paid my taxes.
Oh, have you? Because you haven't paid it to me.
Oh, I was unaware that it had to be paid to you specifically. Every guard we see, we have to pay a tax.
Well, pay it
That
to me,
doesn't
10
seem
copper.
fair.
Come on.
Come on, Dhuros.
Nice seeing you again. Goodbye. I admit I am more shaken by this than I thought.
As am I.
That thing.
Outside. It came in the wall. What part of outside were you at?
Maybe we wait for it to pass. It's
Better to just walk by it and suffer the pain.
It has a
as soon as possible.
flame in its chest, yet it is not of Mithrax. It claims it is not of the gods.
You've spoken to it?
Oh, I was talking to the middleman. We'll make it quick.
Come.
And guess it just wasn't good for me today.
I spoke to it. I was
Yes.
brought in front by a god. I ask what it is. You can see straight through it. Like a water. You see through to the other side.
I don't know what he is. I know not what he is, except for he makes a loud, obnoxious noise and is very warm. I do not like being around him too often.
This woman who you say he tries to kill the day before.
Yes.
Do you think he twists his arm? Why would those two be working in such a space? So
I heard the same thing from another person who would not lie about that.
they,
He really did try to kill her, and I do not know why she is with him.
if they had knives at each other's backs, for them to be standing within the same room, for them to be willing to go on this venture together, they know more than we think. Do not think that Dhuros has not thought about what one can do with such the doors. Archways. I am sure that our ancestors once thought the same. Moving troops, moving forces, remaining safe, whilst they move food and goods. What king would not want such a power? And yet he says that he does not intend to open. There are some jewels, some pearls, that are too bright not to claim.
And if they really did see a creature of the deep underneath the ground, that means that there is in fact a archway in the lost cities that is open already.
What is this threat of which they
There's no
speak?
other way for
By the way you described it, it sounded like he thought his whole people were going to be destroyed.
What do you mean? Wait.
He said that there was something coming, that there was
the war. It is a war within humans, and it pales in comparison to the creatures of the deep. This empire I've heard of, from the east. They are greedy humans who want to take the land for themselves.
You say they escaped this morning.
Yes.
Have they faced this threat before?
Yes.
Yet.
But they have not faced the threat of creatures of the deep, and they do not understand.
So this man has seen fear, and will now do anything to prevent himself seeing it again.
This man is crazy and not someone we should be working with.
Then it is good that you still believe yourself different. Whatever he finds, he will ask me to translate. I must ask you to do something most foul.
What is that?
If you can, make sure that this expedition fails.
It is within all of our interests, land and sea, that they do not open that.
These people, Mirin does not speak for them. And yet he speaks on matters on which he has no knowledge. It seems to me that he is a lonely, dangerous man. I would not see him.
My words.
It is in his interests that we go. I needed to see for himself. But
of course,
to be so dead set on knowledge that he would wander bravely into danger with a dagger on his back.
and taking everyone else with him.
It is as I feared.
I've been told.
It is as I very said this very day. Some things you learn, they change you. I will need to think on this. Thank you for escorting me.
Sleep well, Dhuros.
Thank you, Raelin. Deep One. This child hears your voice. You have sent Dhuros with a mission most foul, as is befitting of the Marsath bloodline, ever the protectors of knowledge, ever the people of the deep. You sent me here to learn. I have learned. And it is the duty of those with knowledge to see their lessers well. I do not know if I can save you, Mirin. But I would like to try. Great Father of the Deep, the welcoming darkness that lies in the center of this world. Your humble servant, estranged, shamed, unworthy, shall rise to your challenge. We swim through currents strong and strange. We scour through deeps, the likes of which no man has seen. And yet such strangers we are to the deeper places of ourselves. I hope you know what you are doing, Kidas. I must trust in the blood. Dhuros has learned much this day. I hope I live to see the next.